Commercial ads, Hulu ads, social media ads, search and display ads. Chances are before this video even began, you were already looking at ads. But the question is, what is the best, most cost-effective way to run ads for your business, especially if you're a small business, you don't have these million-dollar budgets like some of these big corporations have. What do you do in that situation? Well, you run social media ads. And what I mean by social media ads is ads on Facebook, ads on Instagram, like the ones you see basically every day. Now, maybe you still don't know what I'm talking about, and the reason why is because you've probably been targeted by ads that don't even look like ads. They actually look just like regular feed posts that you would regularly see as you're scrolling and browsing through your feed. And those ads, ladies and gentlemen, are the ads that you need to be running. Your ads need to be looking like they belong in your customer's feed. So today, that's exactly what we're gonna be doing. I'm gonna be doing some live research here, and we're gonna together react and review some amazing ads from some of the most successful companies on Shopify. And we're gonna rate them and just basically nitpick them so that you can really learn what it takes to make a good ad. Now, this is a small video series that I'm starting, and the purpose of this series is, as always, to give small business owners an upper edge over these corporations. Like I mentioned at the beginning, a lot of these corporations have millions of dollars allocated towards running ads, and I'm guessing you most likely didn't get a small loan of $1 million to start running your ads, so I'm just gonna assume you're like me, maybe $1,000 or $2,000 at the most to spend on your ads. So I'm gonna be using 3 tools today. One of them is the Facebook ad library, another one is called AdSpy, and another one is called SalesSource. Now, 2 of those are paid and one of them is free. The free one is the Facebook ad library, and that's exactly why I wanted to use it in this video, so that you don't feel forced to actually pay for some of these tools. Because the way that I look at these paid tools for Shopify research and stuff like that is, it's sort of a luxury, right? If you're just beginning and you haven't started to make money yet from your actual business, then it's probably not a good idea to invest in them. But if your business is already generating you an income and you have some money to reinvest into the business and just to, spend on tools that may save you some time, especially when it comes to research, then it's something that you should consider. But basically everything that you can do on these paid apps and tools, you can do for free as long as you're ready to put in a little bit of extra work. So diving straight into it, as you can see, I already told you the tools that I'm gonna be using, and the first thing that we need to do is find some stores. I'm literally doing this live. I have not looked for stores yet, so you're gonna see my whole process basically. So what I do here is I go on SalesSource and then I go to top stores. Now you can also find the top Shopify stores by doing this. You go to Google, you type myip.ms Shopify, and the first link right here is basically all of the top Shopify hosted stores. So basically every store that you see on the internet, honestly, most stores nowadays do use Shopify, and I'm willing to bet that more and more businesses start using Shopify as their e-commerce platform as Shopify continues to grow, especially in their stock. I mean, damn, that stock is literally through the roof. Now, I will say doing this manually obviously does take a lot of time, but it's still very effective. I mean, for example, we can take a look at this website here, lookslikesummer.co. So this is basically this just looks like a normal women's boutique. There's so many of these actually. That was just an example here of how you can just use myip.ms. But we're just gonna use SalesSource here because this way we'll be able to do some research on normal brands, right? Like domestic brands or international brands, but brands that are not drop shipping. And then we can also contrast those brands with some drop shipping stores. So if you don't know what drop shipping is basically a method of fulfillment, most popularly known by AliExpress. So a lot of people will make storefronts and advertise products from AliExpress, which is a Chinese website sort of like Amazon that ships worldwide. And then when somebody buys that product from that advertiser, they would then order it on AliExpress with the customer's information so that the AliExpress supplier can just directly deliver that order to them, to the customer. Now, yes, there is a lot of gray areas in this space. And of course, when it comes to AliExpress dropshipping, you are capitalizing on the customer's negligence of the existence of AliExpress, or at least that particular product is found on AliExpress for cheaper, but you have to start somewhere, and that's fair business at the end of the day. If you find products that people actually love, there's really nothing wrong with doing this. You're basically making money off of putting the right products in front of the right people for a higher cost. So if you do start selling from AliExpress, don't feel too bad about it, but just of course continue to improve your store's process so that you can distinguish yourself from the competition more and more. And that's really what makes the difference between a dropshipping store and any other brand. most brands are unique and they have their own distinctive features and value propositions that make them unique, like I said. So the first ads that we're gonna review are some from a normal store. So first we have to actually find a store. So let's do ColourPop. ColourPop is one of the biggest cosmetic stores of all time, really. I mean, if you don't know about them yet, I don't know where you've been. I don't even use cosmetics and I know who they are. And as you can see, their website is beautiful. This isn't a website design review or reaction or anything, but this is all pretty dope. What we're gonna do here is first go to Facebook ad library. And we'll kind of do the comparison here between AdSpy and the Facebook ad library because honestly, prior to knowing about AdSpy, I only really used the Facebook ad library for this. So as you can see, for some reason, it's not showing me any ads for ColourPop, which is kind of weird. So we're gonna go over here on AdSpy and see if it's the same thing here. Let's go ColourPop. Okay, so it does work. So this does actually start giving us some ads. So let's just do here let's look at some of the recent. So they have been making a decent amount of ads. And the cool thing that I do like about AdSpy, I'm not gonna lie, is that it shows you the shares and the engagement. So as you can see, something like this, for example, has 142 shares. That's really significant. That means that whatever they're doing here is really resonating with their audience. So attention, slay now, pay later. You can now shop our products in 4 interest-free payments with Afterpay. That's really interesting. So that's a very popular thing that a lot of brands are doing nowadays. They're basically just running a simple carousel ad with some really amazing images, I will say. These are all very nice. Just kind of announcing this 4 interest-free installment thing with Afterpay. That's pretty cool. And as we continue to scroll here, oh, these are nice. So basically every time that they have something to celebrate, so for example here, a 9 million follower sale, they've advertised these sales. And as you can see, they get a ridiculous amount of shares. So what we're gonna do now here is just filter by the most shares, because in my opinion, shares are some of the most significant metrics to look at in terms of a successful ad. I mean, if somebody is sharing an ad, that means that they are willing to show that ad, or they want to show that ad to basically everybody that follows them. That's a pretty significant action for someone to take. That definitely means that you're doing something right. Wow, this one ad created on March 21st, 2019, so a little bit over a year ago. This ad has 9,900 shares. I think that's the most shares I've ever seen on an ad. And as you can see, it's just basically a Disney movie makeup collection. But what I want to highlight here, I'm actually gonna check the ad out, but what I want you to see is the clear ad copy. So a lot of people do some really salesy infomercial type ad copies nowadays, especially when we start looking at dropshipping stores. But I urge you to try to be more concise with your ad copy and just make it clean like this. I mean, this looks so good. It feels good to be bad. Which Disney villain is your favorite? So you're asking a question, you're incentivizing engagement on your ad, which of course gets you cheaper cost when you do run your Facebook ads and makes more people see your ad. And by the way, if you are really interested in running ads for your business and you just don't really know where to start, but maybe you already do have content like this that you can use as ads, make sure you watch my last video. I will link it in the description and you'll probably see a card somewhere here so that you can check it out. It's basically a step-by-step tutorial for people wanting to launch their business onto Facebook ads. It's on my channel as my last video, so just check that out and subscribe to the family for more. The goal is 100K subs this year. Let's see if we can make it. But anyways, let's check this ad out real quick. Okay. So it looks pretty cool. I mean, this is such a simple ad, and I'm telling you, sometimes these are the best ads. And I will say that ColourPop has a ton of brand awareness out there. I mean, they do have 9 million followers. That's a pretty significant amount of followers. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, obviously you can see all of these posts that have a ton of shares and that are pretty simple. So your everyday shades that are better than basic, blah, blah, blah. That's actually pretty good ad copy. Your everyday shades that are better than basic $16 eyeshadow. Goodness. I mean, wow. 920 shares. That's amazing. So yeah, as you can see, their Disney ones are the ones that do the best in terms of shares and comments, which honestly doesn't surprise me at all. These are the sort of things that people just love to share, and it has a big wow factor, which is, in my opinion, like one of the biggest things when it comes to successfully selling something online with advertising is a wow factor. Wow factor is even more important than what problem the thing solves. And this is why you see things like this. I mean, like cosmetics doing so so well, or even fashion brands just completely killing it. It's because of wow factor, not because it solves someone's problem necessarily. But yeah, I'm just scrolling through here so that we can, so you can pause these and maybe take your own look if you have your own cosmetic brand. But I really, really love the ad copy style that they use. It's very, very clean and minimal, and this is sort of the same vibe that I've been going for lately, just because it's more branded and appeals more to my sort of brand. A huge, long text, tons of emojis and stuff that doesn't really vibe with my brand. It's not very elegant, very modern, and that's why that's not the ad copy that I'd like to use. But of course, if your brand is something more fun, maybe something catered towards kids, or adults buying things for their kid, then maybe it is a good idea to have more fun ad copy with a ton of emojis and all those different things that you could potentially add. So next, let's look at a dropshipping store just for fun here. We'll take a look at some of the top stores and then we'll choose one to look at their ads. Interestingly enough, when you look at the top dropshipping stores on Shopify, what we see is that literally all of them are general stores. So they're basically like mini Amazons. Let's take a look at the gadget flow. So we'll take a look here at the traffic first. So they're getting about 350,000 monthly visitors. That's pretty significant. So I would say it's definitely worth it to look at their ads. So luckily we actually were able to find this one on the Facebook ad library, but unfortunately the Facebook ad library doesn't show engagement. So we can't really judge which one is doing the best, but still, just looking at their active ads, we can still get a good idea of the ones that have been running for a long time and are still active. So as you can see, they were also promoting some other stuff. Kickstarter, weird. So they must have been doing maybe some affiliate promotions through their store, which is something I've never seen before and I never even really thought of. But as you can see, they're kind of promoting other random stuff. Oh, advertise on Gadget Flow. Weird. So I guess they must be such a big platform that they now even allow advertisers on their own platform. And as you can see, they accept Bitcoin and all sorts of other payments, which is pretty cool. Wow, really interesting store. But let's see if we can actually find some more ads by them, because this isn't the same logo that I'm looking at. Okay, here we go. So I finally found them on AdSpy. That took longer than I anticipated, but as you can see, they've been around for a long time. And when I filter by shares, we see that a lot of their stuff was from in 2017, which was so long ago. So I'm not actually gonna look at the shares anymore, and I'm just gonna look at their most recent stuff, because it's not gonna help us to know what was working back in 2017. That's way too long. We need to know what's working for them now. And as you can see, like I mentioned earlier, they're advertising some weird stuff. They're advertising like their freelance platform, which is super weird. So let's just scroll through here. And as you can see, this, for example, has 23 shares. And yeah, it's just a family game, and they're just running this picture ad. So honestly, one thing that is important to note nowadays is you can, of course, test more than just video ads. If you have a picture that's really high quality and just explains your product perfectly, basically, that is perfectly fine to run as an ad. You know what they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Wow, that's actually really hard to say. But yeah, that's a saying, because sometimes you don't need a whole long video to explain your product, and you can just have a really nice picture that showcases your product perfectly. Oh, so here's another ad that has a lot of shares by them. It's a discover the controversial device that's slashing electricity bills across the country. Wow, that's a very bold claim right there. I wonder how well this works, but I've actually seen this product right here is kind of a winner. I've seen a lot of stores, especially in the gadget niche, selling these sort of products like a Wi-Fi repeater, stuff like that. Anything that you can help people save money with. But yeah, as you can see, their ad copy and stuff is super simple, and they are running a lot of campaigns to Kickstarter and Indiegogo, which is really weird. But that's besides the point. We're not even gonna get too deep into that. I just wanted to look at their ads to get a good idea of sort of some ads that could potentially work really well. As you can see, you really don't need much, just good photography, clean ad copy that just really appeals to your target demographic. That's really all you need. Okay, so let's get out of this store and let's take a look at another store again. So let's take a look at this one here, best sellers. They're doing the more standard dropshipping thing that you think of, is like, all this classic ad copy with all the check marks or whatever. But let's take a look at their ad. Oh, that's actually pretty nice. So this product is really good, but I don't know how well it would work. Before trying a product like this, I would definitely make sure that my supplier is like on point, and I would at least hope to have seen this product in person, because with electronics you just never know like how well it works, and of course you don't want to send people faulty products that are bad quality. So this is definitely something I would test out before selling. But let's actually see if we can find these guys on AdSpy. Okay, so that was pretty easy to find. Let's take a look at some other ones with a lot of engagement from recently. So as you can see, whatever this tool is, a drywall cutting tool. This one's got 86 shares, so that's actually not too bad. Ooh, so this one was created on January 16th, and this one has 770 shares. So this is for sure a winner right here for them. First thing I'd like to point out, by the way, is that this ad is in 4:5 format. That aspect ratio is 1080 by 1350. This is my preferred ratio as well nowadays, because it takes up more of the screen and it looks just as nice as 1080 by 1080. And then it also actually looks pretty clean on stories, so that you can run automatic placements on your ads, which usually gets you cheaper costs since you're letting Facebook do most of the work. But let's take a look here. Painting was never this easy. Meet Sprayly. This store, man, I'm telling you, this is such a classic dropshipper thing. But hey, they're doing really well traffic wise. I mean, they're good marketers, and at the very least, that's what I think dropshipping is great at, is teaching you some marketing skills that are so applicable to like a real brand. Once you learn these skills, the hardest part is finding an actual product that's worth putting those skills to use. This is the biggest learning lesson you need to take here in 2020, is to be patient and wait for the right product to test, because you really want to start selling things that are worth selling. But as we can see, they're actually doing some long form ad copy. They're being very, very specific with their product description, and I'm guessing it's because this is mostly targeted at 39 to 80-year-old males. And I'm not trying to make generalizations, but those type of people are generally not too impulsive and they kind of want to hear the facts. And this is exactly what they're doing with their ad. I mean, it's 56 seconds long and it's getting a ton of shares. Oh, okay, so this actually is doing really well for them. 454. So they have multiple winning products going at the same time, which is the great thing about having multiple products in your store. They can piggyback off of each other, and these are in the same niche. These are in the home renovation or carpentry. So let's look at one more store here, and this time we'll take a look at another brand. Since we looked at 2 dropshipping stores, the next one has to be a brand here, so that we can see the differences and learn a little bit more from them. So let's take a look at Fashion Nova, which is one of the biggest clothing brands right now. I mean, you guys already know, but let's actually take a look at sort of the monthly traffic that they're generating, because it's probably pretty ridiculous. Yep, 21.8 million monthly visitors. Whoa, this is really interesting. So as you can see, they recently started running ads towards some of the charities that they're helping, which is actually pretty cool. They're running a lot of story aspect ratio ads, which is pretty cool. Now let's actually just look at them on AdSpy so we can kind of judge also based on engagement. Now, I've heard a lot of different sorts of opinions on Fashion Nova. Any way you slice it, however, they're geniuses at marketing. They're driving a ridiculous amount of traffic to their store. A lot of it is from influencer marketing, I'm 100% sure, because I see so many people becoming Fashion Nova partners. As you can see, something like this is getting a lot of shares, so 305 shares. And I think the reason why is they're kind of empowering women, especially curvier women, in this particular ad, and they are promoting ultra fast shipping, which is extremely essential, especially right now. I'm sure that's helping them out a lot, that they're still able to ship from the United States, though I'm 100% sure that most of the Fashion Nova products, if not all of them, do come from China. And as you can see, they're really good at ad copy. Like, look at, they do literally anything in our denim. So that's using their customers' language. That's sort of how their customers would probably talk. And they're just obviously saying that these jeans will go with you through anything, and that's how good they are and comfortable they are. And this sort of ad copy, just simple, boom, 580 shares. Now let's take a look at what the ad actually is. The world's stretchiest denim. So I mean, yeah, this is a pretty good ad, I'm not gonna lie. So solid ad, 11 seconds, right to the point. This is my type of ad right here, and not because of the girl, but because I like the conciseness and just straight to the point, just kind of making the product speak for itself. This is the sort of ads that I like to run. But of course, this is what's so important about this sort of research, is that it really shows you that you need to have your own brand voice. You need to be original and think of your brand as like a person, right? Like, how do you want to be perceived, even down to the ads that you run? It's really important that you do this. You got to create like an ecosystem for your brand. Even if you just have a dropshipping store, all of the same principles apply. Oh, so this same ad, as you can see, has 2,500 shares. That's pretty unbelievable, and this was only created on March 4th, so like 2 months ago. But all right, guys, I'm gonna wrap up the video right there. So I hope that you enjoyed it and got something out of it. Make sure that you like this video and subscribe to the family. 100K by the end of the year, that's the goal. Stay tuned for part 2, in which I'll actually show you how to make a video ad. So that one's gonna be a little bit more boring, a little bit more of a sit-down tutorial type stuff, but nevertheless, extremely helpful and beneficial for you. So stay tuned for that, and I'll be seeing you then. Peace.